Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. And guys, checking out Blake Griffin. What can we expect here?
Well, everybody knows around the league that if you get in Blake...
1:53 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Collison. That's good.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it. You know, Darren Collison, DC as he's known, is a guy that does everything you want from a point guard at a decent level, but really doesn't excel at anything in a great fashion. Sort of falls into the jack of all trades category.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. Look at the Clippers. Season well underway, and they've been solid. In third right now. And, of course, there's Utah. Just need to take it a game at a time.
Checking out Los Angeles. There's always one Cinderella team in the NBA each year, it seems. And this year, it looks like they're it.
Yeah, for sure. But I know they don't like to hear that talk, Clark, because they'll tell you that they thought they were going to be good from day one.
And, Clark, you mentioned Collison not dominant in any one category. What areas, Steve, do you think that Darren Collison can improve in?
Well, he can be a very good defender when he puts pressure on defenses, so he's got to focus on that end of the floor. And then offensively, probably shoots a little bit more often than he should. You know, at that size, you want a guard who's going to get your team into an offense.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yep, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Green dishes to Davis. Barnes gets a screen from Collison, and the dunk by Barnes.
Boy, a pick was set at the perfect angle on the floor, and he used it nicely.
Well, that's a play we may see from them a few more times.
Why not? I mean, when it works, you go back to it. Make them stop you. Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Collison, no good.
They've been getting out-muscled on the boards before coming up with that one.
Not playing tough enough. The physicality just hasn't been there yet.
Defensively, this team is just giving up way too many open looks.
You're exactly right, and to battle back, they've got to shore that defense up, Steve.
He dishes it to Dudley. Jacks up a three, and the shot is good.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Here's Mr. Clutch, and the shot is good. Mr. Clutch has got his second basket of the game.
Heads up, aggressive play right there. He saw the smaller man on him, took it straight to the basket.
Kicks to Davis. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Collison's got 3 assists tonight.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first.
Coming up.
Here's Collison. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Golden State.
And he really kept his head down, was drawing contact, getting himself to the line, played an aggressive game. That was a big-time help for him and his team.
Last outing for Utah, it was a loss to Golden State.
Well, really a promising young roster for the Utah Jazz team, guys. A lot of blue-chip talent there. I think in a couple of years, this team has a chance to be one of the best in the West.
And so in the game for the Jazz, Mr. Clutch in a 2-guard. Rush out there with Williams. Then it's John Lucas, and it's Thomas in at the 5. And with that, the Jazz lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Turkoglu.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
And he gets it to go. Lucas has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And you got to give this Utah front office a lot of credit. You're right, Clark. They've only missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 30 seasons. Steve, that is a remarkable run.
What I like about Utah, too, Kevin, is that they seem to stay ahead of the curve. They make moves while they still have leverage. Dealing Carlos Boozer, Kirilenko, Deron Williams. So they've done a good job of getting value, getting assets, and continuing to look ahead.
Here's Mr. Clutch. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Another shot from outside. They're not attacking. I mean, going in and seeking contact like they did in the first one, I'm not seeing that.
Well, you can't play the score. I mean, you've got to play the game, and I think they've got to continue to attack. You're right, Clark. Got to mix it up a little bit.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Dudley comes in for Hedo Turkoglu, and it's Green in for Willie Green.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
Offensive rebound. Thomas passes to Mr. Clutch. A second chance effort, and that's 2 points on the layup. Mr. Clutch has got 5 points in the quarter. Puts up a prayer. The shot is off. Close game as we wrap up the second.
Doc, what happened there in the first half?
Well, we missed shots, turned the ball over, second shots. I really think what's disappointing is our bad offense is dictating our bad.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And a fun game going on out in Los Angeles. Thanks for joining us. Some good basketball for the Jazz. Things haven't been going very well for them this season, languishing at the bottom of the conference. Extra possessions almost too easy to come by. They've piled up the second chance buckets.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to Los Angeles, California. The second. Now here's Paul. He's covered by Burke, and he gets it to go. That's 7 points for Blake Griffin.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
CP3 and Jamal Crawford make the back. Davis is out there with Griffin, and it's Granger in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Just 4 to shoot. From 11 feet away, some solid D from Paul.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Boy, you look at Glenn Davis out of LSU, guys, and he might have made one heck of a left tackle in football. 6'9", close to 300 lbs. He's as strong as they come, and yet surprisingly as quick-footed as any big man in the league.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Thanks, guys. Mr. Clutch in their last game against the Warriors got the job done. He finished with 25 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. Overall, just an incredible bonus for his team as he made a big impact coming off the bench.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by Steve, his standards.
Well, those are pretty high standards ordinarily. We'll see how much it carries over. It's not a performance that will be easy to repeat.
But you like to have that in your arsenal and on your resume so you can call on it the next time you get out on the court. So I think it'll serve him better than it won't.
And Glenn Davis, an improving rebounder in recent years, and Stevie uses his size well defensively.
He's tough to back down. He's got a barrel chest, strong legs. Offensively, he's not a guy who finishes over the top, but he's crafty in the way he can go through bodies and kind of find ways to get the ball into the basket.
Stripped away. Here's Rush, defended by Griffin. Here's Mr. Clutch. Kept alive. Favors can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 11. Left side, Collison. And the layup's good off the glass. Green's got his second bucket of the night.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Got a piece of it. Stolen by Dudley.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they've got to hurry. Step on the gas here.
Collison, no good.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
Clark, the pass to Mr. Clutch. And that one's good. Mr. Clutch has got 13 points.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Outside Collison. Out to the right wing. Green kicks to Collison. Feeds to Davis. And the pass to Dudley. Collison for three. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Utah out in front. They're up by 11. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. In a moment now to check out our State Farm assist to the game, and what a pass it was by a talented point guard.
Well, this is what he does. This is the kind of plays he's known for, Kevin.
A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the fourth quarter. So on the floor for Utah. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the three. Rush out there with Favors, and it's Mr. Clutch in at the point.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Jazz.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And I also like the penetration. I mean, they're getting into the paint. They're getting a lot of easy hoops from those strong drives.
And that's good for two. And guys, pretty interesting comments he had after their last game.
Yeah, I tell you what, this kid has a little spicy salsa to him, a little bite. I mean, you never know when he's going to come back at you if you're a reporter. Never a dull moment when he steps up to the mic. He's going to speak his piece, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a two-sided coin, Clark. I mean, it can be good or bad. Sometimes it can help draw some attention off the rest of the team, but also you don't want to be a loose cannon. I mean, you can stir up some controversy and make things more difficult for your team.
The drive by Paul. Rush grabs the miss.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Here's Hayward. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and two shots coming up.
You watch Gordon Hayward play, and his speed is deceptive. You see him, and you think he's some lanky, gangly 6'8" guy, but he's got a great first step, and if you need him to, he can fill in at the two for you.
Thomas checked in for the Jazz. Then going back to Gordon Hayward, Steve, a very competitive tennis player in high school. One time, in fact, that really was his best sport. Do you think that helped him with his footwork, his mobility?
Oh, I think so. I think tennis and basketball really mirror each other in terms of the athlete's movements. And for a guy his size to have that type of mobility, I think you have to point to the work he put in on the tennis court. Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for the Clippers. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. And Paul gets it to go in.
Beautiful job angling his body, shielding the big man from the ball on his way to the basket.
That's really the only way to do it if you're going to take it down there amongst the tall trees.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
During that break, Coach Rivers had some words for his team. He said to his guys, let's get serious about driving the lane and putting pressure on their interior defenders. That's where he sees the soft spot in this defense. A few late-on-the-fly adjustments as the situation gets more desperate for them. It's going to be a tough hill to climb, guys.
Thank you, Doris.
Yeah, trying to put a little mustard on the hot dog there. That was just convert the shot. Come on.
Burks the pass to Mr. Clutch. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Mr. Clutch has got 12 points here in the second half. Jordan sets the pick for Crawford. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. You could tell he was moving into the defender when he tried to set the screen.
Yeah, lowered that shoulder, dipped right into him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Tyrone Corbin was going over with his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
Here's Mr. Clutch. Cannot hit. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Here's Paul, down low, and out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Utah Jazz. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
I'll be anxious to see what ends up happening with that Mavericks game, guys. That should be a good one.
We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in, and it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. And here's a quick look at how the Clippers' schedule is shaping up. After this one, they're off to Denver to take on the Nuggets. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
Yeah, a lot of good matchups around the league. The one that I have my eye on is definitely the Miami Heat matchup.
Here's Mr. Clutch, and that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. Jordan's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Fires from the wing, and he hits the jumper for 2. And that's 13 points for Chris Paul.
Well, this quarter has gone awfully well for him. It seems like every chance he's gotten, he's pretty much converted.
Hayward takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And the Jazz lead by 15. Paul outside. He dishes it to Granger. Paul outside. Right side, Griffin. No good. Excellent D from Favors. Utah leading by 15. Thomas inside. Rebound by the Clippers. Jordan's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Granger with the ball. And Burks picks him up defensively.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Mr. Clutch, the pass to Hayward. The feed to Favors. Here's Mr. Clutch, defended by Griffin. Pass to Burks. The outside leaner, good. Burks has got 9 points here in the second half.
Well, it's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Crawford outside. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. They get Derek Favors.
You know, this is an interesting little factoid, fellas. Jamal Crawford is the all-time career leader in 4-point plays. That's where you get fouled and make the 3. There must be an art to it. If there is, he's the master artist.
And Clark, you mentioned those 4-point plays. That may be harder to pull off now with the Reggie Miller rule. Officials will call an offensive foul if you kick out your leg on the shot. World B. Free used to do it all the time and hits the defender.
Yeah, that's how Jamal Crawford got a lot of those 4-point plays early in his career. But there's a reason that he's able to convert those, and it's because he can create his own shot off the dribble from the 3-point line. And so a lot of times defenders are lunging at him because they put on their heels defensively because of his work off the dribble.
That's a good explanation.
Guys, we've talked about Chris Paul and his leadership. It's on display off the court as well. He's a member of the Players Union Executive Committee. And after the scathing independent review of the union's leadership, he and his colleagues voted for a change. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
You know, Steve, as we kind of shift gears and look beyond just the game itself, Chris Paul and the Players Union, perhaps now, you know, some closer oversight of how their interests are being handled. I think now they want to tighten the screws a little bit.
Well, they should. That's a good thing, Kevin. The players should know about the business of basketball. They should understand their finances as a union. At the end of the day, it is a business, and you have to have the best representation of people who are going to have your interest in heart.
Mr. Clutch, the pass to Clark. Looks for Thomas, gets it to him. The Jazz working the ball around now. 6 to shoot. Jefferson against Dudley. Jefferson's shot is off. Williams against Turkoglu. An absolute bomb from 3-point range.
Now, he's just showing off with range like that. That's what I call profiling.
Incredible.
He's profiling all right, Clark. I mean, he's got unlimited range, and you can tell he is feeling it.
Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. He's going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
Throws it from deep. No good there. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing by.
Hi, Kevin. Derek, what were the points of emphasis coming into your preparation for tonight? Coach, what would you point to as the biggest issue your team faced tonight?
We never really established what we wanted to do offensively. I thought they played with more force for most of the game, and give them credit. That was part of their defense. But I thought it was a lot of us. I thought there was no ball movement. The ball just stuck for most of the game. So, we have to do a better job there.